Hello everybody, welcome to a Swiss Magic Origins draft. This is Kevin for Channel Mana League. Have Lucky Draw here with us once again to do a draft of the new set.
Yo.
So before we jump into that though, I just wanted to share with everyone out the pre-release sealed we did. We both live in Las Vegas, so we went to our local card shop to do the Magic Origins pre-release. Live, of course. And it was pretty interesting. We got there, and at our pre-release was professional poker player Huckseed, professional poker player / Magic player David Williams. We also had Owen Turtenwald. We had, I think Huey Jensen was there, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Ben Stark was at our local pre-release sealed. Eric Froelich, who does Magic and also some poker. And am I missing anybody?
Those are the ones that I remember.
Yeah. So that's it's quite a few high quality Magic players. What were there? How many people?
Release event, basically.
What's that?
Pretty easy release event.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Competition there.
Yeah, nothing to speak of. How many people were at ours? Do you remember?
It was a packed room. 40? Does that sound about right?
Yeah, maybe something like that. They ended up doing 6 rounds and then cutting to top 8. So I was lucky in that my first round I drew Owen Turtenwald, of course. But I was lucky enough to win that one. So I went ahead and beat Owen Turtenwald round 1. I started out pretty strong. I was 3-0, and then I ended up going 3-2. 4-2. So I was the highest ranked 4-2, but 4-1-1 made it, and you were a 4-1-1. So you made the top 8, and I came in 9th, which didn't get me into the top 8, but that's okay. And you ended up in the top 8. And would you like to tell them what happened in your top 8?
Yeah, it was kind of a funny story, by the way, to get in there. I had David Williams as my last match of the 6 rounds, and he could have drew. He was the top seed. He could have drew to go in, but he opted to play instead. And for me, it was win and in, lose and as it turns out, lose and out.
But you could have drawn. But you could have drawn in.
I could have drawn in, so, basically he said, yeah, I could draw and we both get in, but I'd rather just play since it's better for me to try and make the top seed.
Right.
Which, is fine. I mean, I wasn't upset about it. It's the way it goes.
Yeah, there's no rule that says you have to draw.
Oh, no.
Right.
And, he's obviously a very sharp player at all games. So, he's going to make the play that's most optimal for him, which he should. So I win the first game, a pretty close one, and the second game I'm winning pretty handily at a point where I'd say, just guessing, I'm about 80, maybe 90% to win, at which point he says, hey, do you want to draw?
Right.
Which, of course, I think for a couple seconds and then say, well, yeah, since, there's really no downside to me drawing except for maybe getting a couple higher seeds, but it's just pales in comparison to actually getting into the top 8. So it was just kind of an interesting strategic move from him.
Yeah, sure.
And since we brought that up, so I did get in that way. Unfortunately, the person who did not benefit from me drawing in and instead of winning my way was you, because if I had lost, you would have been in the top 8.
Yeah, if you lose, I do make the top 8, but that's totally fine. Also kind of funny, the only round that you lost before the top 8 was to me.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. So, and then the one of the 2 rounds I lost was to Eric Froelich, who had both Chandra and Liliana in his deck. And I think
we'll get back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So quickly, my top 8 was one player we did leave out, a pretty good Magic player, Gabriel Nassif.
Oh, Nassif, sure, right.
He was my round one. That was a match I won in good, although slightly embarrassing fashion. I won game one, again, pretty handily. He had like a red-white aggressive deck. Mine was blue-red tempo, I guess you'd say. Get guys down and then have spells to clear their board and keep pounding in. Is essentially the idea. So I win game one. Game two, I lose due to misreading his card.
They should explain. They should explain him better.
Yeah, I know. He had the white Planeswalker, which we'll see it, or hopefully we'll see in this draft. They start out as creatures and turn into Planeswalkers.
Yeah, it's interesting.
So that guy, I saw him play it, realized I needed to clear it out as soon as possible, so targeted it with the spell, and then read the card. It has the ability to give itself indestructible.
That's a pretty good ability.
He, of course, did, and beat me with the Planeswalker that I did not remove.
Yeah.
But, won game three anyway. Rematch against David Williams in round two. I won that one, very close, and then Boylik did get me in the finals with Liliana and Chandra. Although in game one, he didn't really need either one of those.
No, his deck was very good even without those two cards.
Yeah, all those guys, by the way, were really nice, friendly, probably more friendly than I would have expected. I know we've seen Turtenwald at a different release event, but I mean, good sports and fun to play against.
Yeah, no, they were nice guys. Like I said, even though, round one I happened to beat him, he was very nice about it. He wasn't a sore loser. He lost in round one to a non-Magic professional and myself. But, yeah, they were good guys. So, about the drafting itself, I haven't done a draft yet, neither of you, is that right?
I have not, no.
Yeah, so still going to be kind of new to some of the cards, even though we did pre-release. Probably going to be doing a lot of reading of cards, and going to do a Swiss so we can get a little bit of experience. But overall, I thought the cards were pretty good. I thought the set seemed pretty fun, so hopefully it translates to draft. I thought that the set looked pretty good in the pre-release.
Yeah, no, it seems fairly balanced, and it'll make for a fun format.
All right, cool. Well, then we will go to the draft, and we will see you there.